The hits just keep coming from the FBI, don't they? This time in the form of Washington Field Office Special Agent in Charge Tim Thibault, who was escorted from the Bureau's headquarters on Friday. Reports are saying that Thibault abruptly resigned and was forced to leave his post. Thibault allegedly concealed the partisan nature of his evidence when seeking approval from FBI Director Christopher Wray and from Attorney General Merrick Garland when he was opening an investigation into former President Donald Trump. That investigation resulted in the unprecedented raid on Mar-a-Lago in early August. Is Thibault to blame for the bungled raid on Mar-a-Lago, or is he just a fall guy? Stick around, let's find out. This is JP with Political Pop Culture, and this is my take. Whistleblowers are alleging that Tim Thibault concealed the partisan nature of evidence from FBI Director Christopher Wray and from Attorney General Merrick Garland in order to gain approval to open an investigation into former President Donald Trump. At least, that's the scuttlebutt in Washington. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm not sure that I buy that that's the extent of the corruption in this case. I mean, Merrick Garland is maybe one of the most corrupt, if not the most corrupt, attorney general in my lifetime. Merrick Garland despises Donald Trump, he despises Republicans, and he blames the right for blocking his nomination to the Supreme Court. There is very little that I would put past Merrick Garland when it comes to seeking revenge on those he feels have wronged him. That said, in an article on the Gateway Pundit, Jim Hoft reports that one of the things we learned with the public release of the affidavit that accompanied the search warrant into Mar-a-Lago was that the warrant application relied heavily on information from news articles, including a CBS Miami piece titled "Moving Trucks Spotted at Mar-a-Lago," as well as a Breitbart news article in which former President Trump's advisor Kash Patel discussed the classified status of documents the Bureau previously removed from the estate on behalf of the National Archives. If these reports are true, if Tim Thibault gained a search warrant to raid a former president's residence based on news reports, rumor, and innuendo, he, along with anyone who knowingly went along with him, should be arrested and prosecuted for violating former President Trump's civil rights. Will he be held accountable? Not likely, as word on the street is that Thibault is being reassigned. In fact, Iowa Republican Senator Chuck Grassley told Just the News that Thibault, quote, had been removed from his post and reassigned to an unspecified position. I don't know where he's assigned now. He's still in the FBI. He's still being paid by the FBI, but I don't think he's in a position to make any political determination about investigations. Well, that's great, but why is he employed at all? He should have at least been suspended pending an investigation, if not fired on the spot. Former Georgia Representative Doug Collins agrees with me, telling Just the News, quote, I'm glad Wray removed him, but why didn't he fire him? Where's the accountability? Where indeed, Mr. Collins, where indeed? Senator Grassley also had misgivings about the veracity of Thibault's sources and his motivation for the investigation into Trump, saying, quote, we have evidence that there was a special agent in charge by the name of Thibault that the FBI should have known had a political bias, because you could see it in his social media writings that he did over a long period of time. And he's the one that opened an investigation of Trump based upon fuzzy liberal reporting and maybe even a little bit of fuzzy information from one left-wing nonprofit. The same person, when there was credible information of criminality on Hunter Biden, he shut that investigation down and classified it more or less as disinformation. So, once again, we have the FBI pushing the legitimate criminal activity of Hunter Biden to the side while vilifying and persecuting former President Trump, based on little more than an intense hatred of the man. Stupid behavior on the part of the FBI. During questioning at a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on Thursday, FBI Director Christopher Wray appeared to confirm part of Grassley's account by saying that Thibault had been the special assistant in charge of the Washington, D.C. field office until recently. While Director Wray didn't get any more specific, saying he didn't want to influence ongoing personnel or investigative proceedings, he did acknowledge the specificity and nature of the allegation in Grassley's letter struck an unsettling chord. I should say that when I read the letter that describes the kinds of things you're talking about, I found it deeply troubling, Director Wray told Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy. Yeah. So does anyone else who's paying attention, Director. We are seeing instance after instance of the FBI abusing their power and attacking people they perceive to be political opponents. Obviously, this is not acceptable behavior by the Department of Justice and the FBI. Tim Thibault is, by many accounts, a political ideologue, who's used his position within the FBI to launch an attack against political opponents of the left based on little more than his hatred of Republicans, and specifically his hatred of Donald Trump. Now, was he alone in intentionally using questionable sources to gain approval for the investigation into Donald Trump? Probably not. But don't hold your breath if you're waiting for the FBI to come forward with information incriminating their own. I hope Director Wray surprises us by using this case as an impetus to start cleaning house in the Bureau, but I wouldn't count on it. As of now, Diebold is their fall guy, but considering he's still gainfully employed by the FBI, it's not like he's really even falling that far. That's my take. What's your take? You can let me know your take in the comments below. You can also let me know by joining the cult at Pol Pot Cult on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Rumble, and Truth Social. Thank you for listening.